I remember when I was on a low carb diet, I did it for health reasons. My doctor said that I needed to do that so I could lose weight and help regulate certain hormones that were not in the greatest of balance. I remember that I used to really gorge on cookies and cakes and sweets of that kind, candy, and I would do that constantly throughout the whole day. If I didn't have anything sweet to eat, I would crave for it. And the doctor was saying that it would eventually affect me in my insulin levels and my hormone levels. And what I ended up doing is I ended up cutting a lot of those carbs out of my diet. So, refined sugars, I cut out a lot of processed foods, and I was eating more of the greens. I was eating a lot more high fat, or what is perceived as high fat, like avocado and other veggies of that sort. And it turned out that I started losing weight, and I was quite surprised that within a span of about 3 months, I had lost a total of 20 pounds. And I now doing the research on low carb diets, I realize why this actually works. Yeah, having a low carb diet helps reduce the appetite. So, since it's more based on protein and trying to get your fill in with more raw veggies, it doesn't allow the person to feel not as full. Because when you eat junk food, when you eat that kind of high carb food, it doesn't really fill you up as much as when you eat raw vegetables and salads of that sort. And it also adds the extra fiber, which makes your body take time to digest and process it. And you feel fuller for a longer period of time than when it's just the high carbonated drinks and sugary foods, which the body processes that much quicker. Another aspect that goes into it is your body then goes into ketosis. And ketosis basically is when the body burns its own fat. So it's not using the glucose that's coming in, it's not breaking down the carbohydrates into glucose, and instead of that it's using the ones that it's already stored and within the fat cells, so it starts burning that, and that also contributes into the weight loss. Another thing that it does really well is that it reduces blood sugar. Since you're not eating more sugar, it's using the sugar that you already had stored into your body that is being burned for the important glucose for the function of day-to-day living. I recently watched a documentary that was called Fathead, and it was a response to people going on keto diets and low carb diets and showing whether they worked or didn't work. Within the documentary, they did some research finding out that the bad cholesterol are usually smaller particles, and those are actually related to high carb foods, unlike what was previously thought that it was high fat foods. In reality, high fat foods, carbohydrates, are more bigger shaped molecules, and it turns out that that's what we see as good cholesterol. So when you go on a low carb diet, you reduce your low you the bad cholesterol and you raise your good cholesterol levels. All in all, going on a low carb diet when you first wanting to do this change in a healthier lifestyle, it is a good what place to start. And as you continue, then you could start reintroducing complex carbohydrates that will help your body when it needs it, once you've burned enough of your own fat and released enough of the sugars that you have within the fat cells. And it's a good place to start when you want to lose weight.